Welcome to Perception versus Reality Sports and Culture. Please enjoy this PVR interview, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, I know it's pressure your junior year. You exceeded expectations your junior year. You stood up to the pressure. You did everything you're supposed to do. Going into your senior year, it's really no pressure. You've done everything you could do as a quarterback in the state of Arkansas. How did you take your senior year? How was off season, and how did you go into that senior year?
Off season, we still had to be prepared for everybody. So we were still on the top. We still on every from everybody just coming. They got to take down Pine Bluff. They got to take down Pine Bluff to get to where they wanted to be at. And so we had to prepare during all season. We worked hard and lift weights. But during the summertime, I'm baseball.
Yeah.
And so I kept myself, my body going, and I kept everything just going across baseball, and that really helped me out to keep my condition going.
Yeah.
Because back then, you had a certain amount of time that coaches could spend with the high school football players in a certain bunch. Not like now, they can be with them year round. It's different now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely remember. Y'all didn't even have spring practice. We used to have spring practice. Like my junior year, we started spring practice. You get a week and a half of spring, like 10 days.
And so you had a certain amount of time. It's considered your off season. I mean, but we still couldn't do no off season to a certain month, a certain amount of time to get in off season.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Okay, so now you're going into your senior year. Your senior year is about to start. How are you taking this? Because I know around campus, you're the big man on campus. You pretty much everybody in Pine Bluff know you. You Clifton Bunt. You led Pine Bluff High to a state championship undefeated. You made it to 2 state championships in a row. You're going into that senior year. Did you feel any? I'm sure you didn't feel a lot of pressure, but did you feel any pressure to perform, or was it almost like, hey, I got this thing figured out. We finna go in here. We finna handle business. We're Pine Bluff High.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't get too big head because you Pine Bluff High. Because like I said, every Friday it's the team that's gonna play hard every Friday to try to outdo you. And you got to think about it. Now is the time recruiting for to come around. Coaches should be showing up. You just got to, everything just going to be on Friday night. It's going to be a totally different ball game your senior year. You have to do something. You have to just make a statement.
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. So you guys, what was your record that year? And you lost one game that year, right?
Yes, we lost one game. Our record that year was 12-1-1. We lost one game and we tied the Dollarway 6-6.
That's right, Shirley. I the first year you guys beat Dollarway 27-0, and then the next year Dollarway came back ready. They had a game plan.
Exactly, they came back ready, and they caught, and it was out there muddy, just raining, just everything just coming down, and it just. They just came prepared for us.
So that was actually a win for us at Dollarway because we felt
that was a big win.
Yeah, you got a team. Win. You got a team that made it to back-to-back state championships in the 4A division, and you were a 2A school, 3A school, and you tied them, the biggest school in the state. Like wow, that's a big deal. So let's say that after that game, did you feel? Was the walls closing in, so to say? Because when you're so used to success all the time and you lose one game and you tied to a 3A school, which is Dollarway or 2A. I don't know if Dollarway 2A or 3A then. I think they were 2A. But
they were 2A that year.
Okay, so you tied to a small 2A school. Did you hear it in the papers? Was practice a little different? Did that wake you guys up to go on another championship run?
It had to wake us up because the next week after we tied Dollarway, we had to turn around playing Little Rock McClellan. So we just can't dwell on that because you had to turn around and next week get prepared for Little Rock McClellan. Then here they come in, they gave us our first loss in 35 games.
Wow.
McClellan did.
So hold on. So let me ask you something. So in back-to-back weeks. See, I didn't realize this. This news to me, and I'm sure the listeners are gonna love this part too. So in back-to-back weeks, the mighty, the great Pine Bluff High Zebras, who can't be touched in the state, who hadn't lost in like 30 plus games, tied with Dollaway at 2A school and lost to Little Rock McClellan. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys lost that game at home, right?
Yes, at home, exactly.
Yeah,
I
remember
exactly.
that game.
I
was at that.
They snapped our 35 home back.
Yep, I remember that game. So how was it after that? It had to be stressful after that.
That week, it was what Coach called boot camp. He called boot camp because when he lose something, Coach Glover he didn't like to lose at all. That week, man, boot camp. I mean, you had to be ready. Water break was less amount. It less time. It was just rough on us that weekend.
So pretty much, the legendary Coach Glover took it upon himself to say, "Hey, you guys are reading the headlines. You guys are getting too relaxed. I got to whip you back in shape so we could go on this run for another championship." So pretty much that's what happened.
Oh yeah.
How did you take it as the leader?
Then the next week.
Go ahead, Cliff.
Oh, we had to come back. Then the next week we played Brian, and Brian paid for it the next week after that.
What was the score in that game? You remember the score in that game?
I think 41 to 0 that game. 41-0.
Wow. So you as the leader of the team after that 2 week, like just rough 2 weeks of time with Dollaway and losing to Little Rock McClellan. How did you, as the leader, talk to your fellow teammates and get them back going? Did you talk to them? What did you do to help them turn around that season?
Oh yeah, they know I was one of the ones that was real laid back and cool. I mean, I'm not the one that's gonna be all this hoorah and man hoorah, but they know if I say come on, I'm gonna hype them up, especially when we're in that huddle. They understand when you're in that huddle, it's all games and it's over with once you're in that huddle with me. So they know when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious.
Okay, so at this point in the season, and let's go back to the game. So you guys were 2-1-1 through 4 games, correct?
Yeah.
So you guys 2-1-1, the mighty Pine Bluff High Zebras, and you guys go on this amazing run to finish the season and win the state championship. How was it going on that run, getting back on track? Tell me some of the tough games you guys had through the playoffs, turning it around.
Well, all during the season, like I said, Texarkana, El Dorado. We had to get through them before doing a whole conference. Cause them the 2 teams that really gave us fits in the conference. Then once we get past through all that, then the playoff run. We played Rogers. That's a team that we ain't never played it. I ain't never played them since I've been at that time. Then that playoffs, cause we want McClellan back. If we were home, nobody gonna beat McClellan until we get them back. Yeah. That's what we were done for McClellan. Cause we weren't gonna let them take our shine back again.
Gotcha.
Twice in 1 year.
So when did y'all face them again, in the state championship or in the playoffs?
In the state championship at Wilton Moore.
Oh, okay. So it was a showdown. That's the team that gave y'all first loss in like 35 games and 35 home games or whatever it was, and now you get to face them again on the biggest stage at the biggest time. You got to give me details on that game, man. I need to know, how did you perform? I need to know scores. I need to know any details that you could provide on that game.
Well, see, before all this championship game, we had to play Bentonville. Then you remember that little incident that's going on with Darius Seegers and Otis Steen.
Yeah.
And and all that stuff was going on that whole week. We had to deal with that, and it was just.
So give me details. What was going on there? What was going on? I was a youngster then, so I knew of it, but I didn't know any. Can you provide any like small details without giving away too much?
Well, I called it at the last minute where everything was going on. All I remember is seeing my boy Darius Seegers just on the ground, and everybody was holding Otis Steen back, and then that's all I remember. I don't know what was to this day. I don't know what it was going on, but what it was about, what was going on. To this day, I do not know. For real.
So basically, these guys were fighting in a.
Fighting. Otis thing hitting Derrick in the head with a helmet. It was just a bunch of mess. It was just a bunch of things going on.
Okay, gotcha.
And then lucky, we had sophomores, and we were low. We just had too much backups. And Rod Stinson started that championship game. He had one of the best games of his life, that championship game. Rod Stinson.
Okay. So and going into that championship game, how did he do, and how did you perform in that game?
Threw I think it was a touchdown. Threw a touchdown to Jane Kaiser. I threw over almost 150 yards that game.
Okay.
And I think Omar Allen had a good game there yesterday. That day, I think he caught about maybe like 5 passes for 80 some yards. But and then I think Otis Sting came back championship game. I think he rushed like maybe twice at all, but still Stinson carried the load. Stinson, Norfolk, and Kaiser both carried the load for us.
Yeah. So
and then we ended up winning 25-21.
25. So it was another tough game. It was another tough game.
Yeah.
You guys battled it out in state championship, but you was able to get revenge on the team that gave you your first loss. And so many since your sophomore year, the third game of the season, the championship game your sophomore year gave your first loss. You guys got your revenge. Was that the best game for you? I guess as far as like the sweet revenge, would you say that's one of your best games, or beating McClellan, or would you say another game?
I had an okay game. I'll say I had an okay game, but I knew I could have played better than I did. But things happen. We make mistakes, ball drops, I overthrow them, and it just make mistakes like that, and just we came out on top. So
yeah, that's good. That's good. I know you guys were happy to beat McClellan after they beat you, so that's a good thing. So we've gotten through your sophomore, junior, senior year. You're starting quarterback basically all 3 years. You pulled off 2 state championships. You went through some controversy your senior year, and you guys were able to come out of it on top. So that shows a lot of character with those Pine Bluff High teams that I didn't know. That I wasn't aware of from the outside looking in. I just thought it was just easy selling for you guys. But now I look at it and say, wow, through a 2-week period, these guys tied with a double A school, which everybody's looking like, hey, how good is Pine Bluff High if they can't beat a school with 50 players? Then you lose to McClellan, who are now beating their chest as the big dogs in the 4A division, and you guys get through that, win 8-9 games straight, go to the state championship, and show the character of a true champion. You got knocked down, they knocked you down, you got back up, and you won the fight. So that's good. So now let's get into how was the recruiting process for you? Because I'm really surprised that you didn't play one game in college football as good as you were. What was the decision behind that? Tell me, like, why did you go to like a smaller school to play? Why didn't you try to play at UAPB?
Well, to be honest, I had Maryland looking at me. They came down when we played Bentonville, and they talked to me for a brief moment. Yeah. And I really was seeing I'm going to go to Southern University in Baton Rouge. That's where I was going to end up going.
Yeah.
And then things came around. Like I tell you young kids, your grades, your school work is more important than anything.
Okay.
And when I'm more concentrating on sports than worry about what's going to come out the sports if I don't have no background behind that, and just school work was just. I was smart. I mean, I had good grades, but it could have been better. And I just wasn't being smarter, taking care of doing my ACT, my SAT, things like that I should have been already done. And to be honest, I got burnt out.
Okay.
I got burnt out.
And you can understand that for somebody like you, who ever since your sophomore year, you've been on this huge stage. You playing in the biggest division in the state, and you playing for the biggest school in the history of the state. I think at that time, because I think a Little Rock team overtook you guys for championships. I think it's Central or somebody like that. But you guys at that time had the most championships in the states, and you as a sophomore, you got to be on it every day. You like a celebrity walking around Pine Bluff. You like a celebrity walking around Arkansas because people know who you are. So I could definitely understand with a person like like you who you laid back, you reserved, you cool, you like, man, you know what, I'm burnt out with it. Because I was very surprised, that you decided not to play college ball with your skill set. And thinking about it, even you like you said, you didn't take the ACT and all that serious. I'm surprised JUCOs, junior colleges, didn't come after you hard to bring you in.
They came after me. They came. Yeah, it was a junior college in Mississippi, Hines Community College.
Yeah.
In Mississippi, they came after me big, but I don't know. I just lost passion for it. I mean, lost passion for it.
And I understand, and I definitely understand that, Clifton. And that's something good. Like, that's the transparency that this interview is going to give you, because especially for somebody like me who was young at the time, I definitely always wondered. I saw Kevin Williams play college ball. I saw him play with the Twisters. I saw him play with UAPB. And I remember, when UAPB was struggling at quarterback, they were like, man, why don't they bring in Clifton Blunt? I remember those conversations. So
yeah,
go ahead.
How they went. Hardman was out there then.
Yeah.
And see, when Hardman found out that I wasn't gonna go to Southern, he found out I was on out there on the yard going to school out there. He wanted me to come on. He wanted me to walk on. I mean, but I was like, I didn't want to walk on. You giving everybody here scholarships and everything that I know that I deserve a scholarship. At least let me, prove my point. But I just, like I said, it just burned me out.
So
very burned me out.
So if Hardman would have offered you a full ride, you would have considered playing football after sitting out a year. Say, hey, I would have too. Go ahead.
So not once did UAPB say anything to me about coming to play. No, not at all. Not at all. Hardman even to me, they recruiters came when we played in the All-Star during All-Star camp in Conway. They was down there every week. Not one did nobody say anything to me about you want to come out here and we give you, not one.
Wow, that's interesting, because I did a podcast episode 2 weeks ago, discussing UAP, the current state of UAPB, and that was one of my biggest issues during that podcast. I discussed my biggest issue was that I don't feel like UAPB recruit Arkansas players hard enough, and especially the talent come out of Pine Bluff. They'd rather pass a guy like you who was all-state in Arkansas 2 years in a row, won 2 state championships, made it to 3 state championships, all conference 2 or 3 years, and a known athlete, and go get a guy that played maybe 5 games at quarterback from Texas and bring him and give him a scholarship. I never understood that about UAPB. That's one of my biggest issues with them, because if you put Clifton Blunt in that stadium and you got this guy who's already famous around Arkansas, who's famous around Pine Bluff, you're gonna put 400 to 500 butts in that stadium every week just to watch him play.
Exactly. Then Kevin Williams came back as a wide receiver. Me and Kevin Williams together out there on the same team. Now picture that.
Exactly. And you know what? And I'm not blowing smoke either. I absolutely remember my dad and his buddies at the barbershop when Hardman was struggling due to not having a quarterback, talking about, Clifton Blunt walking around is on campus going to school, and you're not even going after him hard. You got the best quarterback probably in the state walking around this campus right now, going to classes every day, and you're not trying to get him out there.
Yep, and not one at all. He's saying anything.
So that's good to know, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna satisfy a lot of people that listen to this, because everybody wonder, like, hey, whatever happened to Clifton Blunt? You know what I'm saying? After this dude was a legend, one of the top high school quarterbacks to come through the state of Arkansas, and that would make sense, And that's another thing I talked to a guy about last week, Jermaine Anderson. Him and I had a conversation, and he was talking about the kid that got in some trouble, that played along with Skelton. And he got in some trouble and ended up going to jail, if I'm not mistaken. And he was saying how, although Pine Bluff High and Dalloway and all these schools are winning, they still don't do everything it takes to get these kids prepared for college. Like here in Texas,
Exactly.
you have these athletes taking the ACT and the SAT they sophomore year. You have them going to ACT prep courses. You have them you're making sure they have tutors to get their grades. That's why most of them come out. They can sign scholarships because hey, they got the grades, they got the scores. In Pine Bluff, they didn't do that, and they're still not doing it now. Like your son, you know what to do with your son. If he say he want to go to college, you're gonna have him studying for the ACT. You're gonna have him taking courses. You're gonna make sure he's right in school. But they didn't do that for us when we were even when I came up. They didn't do it. I came out 8 years after you, and it still was the same thing. We had players on our team who was good enough to go D1, but the coaches didn't take it serious enough to put us in training classes or anything, to get us ACT prep courses. So that's an interesting dynamic that you brought up that I think our listeners will say, hey, I can understand Clifton on that, because even though Marion Glover, all praises to him, he's one of the greatest coaches to come through Pine Bluff, you got this guy who is a highly talented D1 recruit. Why aren't you making him take these classes and making sure he's prepped for the ACT? You got to ask yourself that,
They to be honest, they didn't ever push it on us like that. If they probably would have pushed it on me and everything, like you need to do this, you need to get this, you need to get this done, you need to get this done. Then they came up with their clearinghouse stuff. Then that's too much work. I just feel like, man, I can't do them. I just can't. It was just too much. It was just a lot that they wanted you to do. Then on top of that, you still got to worry about this ACT score. You got to worry about your SAT scores. I mean, they didn't ever prepare us for nothing like that. Anything. Now, I tell you one thing, my son getting prepared every chance he gets ACT, he getting prepared because I know how hard it is.
Exactly. That's good. And we could teach the next generation. Real quick, one more question. I got a couple more questions for you, then I'm gonna let you go because I know you got things to do today. The All-Star game. I didn't get a chance to play in it. I was close. The coach said that we had one guy, I think Chris Evans, made it to the All-Star game. How was that experience? And tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, man, that was fun experience. And what made it so fun, my head coach was my All-Star coach, so that made it even better. And it's to go in there every week. You see players just from different schools and that you read about in the paper, and here they is on your team. I mean, it was amazing. Like, I wish me and Head would have played together, but he was on the opposite team. And it was amazing. It was nice. I had my boy Derek Seegers. He made it with me on the defensive side. He was a linebacker.
Okay.
And it was just me and him that made it.
So yeah, so how it works? You guys actually stay there for a week, or you go there for a couple of days?
No, we was there for a week. The All-Star camp was in Conway for the whole week, but the game was at War Memorial on that Saturday, and it was awesome. Fed us 3 times a day. That was good. living like we were living the college life away from home and everybody. It was nice. It was real nice.
Oh, that's dope. I thought you guys played in Fayetteville. I thought you guys played in Fayetteville, but you actually played in Little Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience.
We did play in Fayetteville.
Man.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice experience. It was nice.
So the last thing we go. Go ahead, Cliff. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
Then you sit up there, especially with the Little Rock McClellan boys. Every time Corey Nichols say me, you stole my ring. Every time he see me, he wanted a ring before he graduated. But every time he see me, we was on the same team doing All-Star.
Oh, okay, that's good. Now the last thing I want to touch on here is I mentioned in your introduction that you played, you were a good baseball player, great baseball player from what I understand, and you was a pitcher and a shortstop. You played with Kimber Hill. Tell us a little bit about that. Give us a little background on that. You made All-Star a couple of times. How did y'all do an All-Star? And you don't even have to tell me how you did during the regular season, because I know Kimber won it almost every year.
Yeah, he did. Cause Kimber was a great recruiter. I mean, when you get all the talent from each part of the high schools around there, and go against some of the teams, the other talent, he know what he was doing. And then my 16-year-old year, I come from northern Beirut over on the north side, and I ended up winning the pitcher of the year in the senior Beirut my 16-year-old year.
Oh wow! Okay.
And that means a lot. And I think I remember I was 9-0 my 16-year-old year. Then that year, I made an all-star team. That 16-year-old, then we had to go to Armagardens, New Mexico, and we ended up winning that.
Okay.
We ended up winning it. Winning the regional. Then that year is when they had the big flood up in Kansas City that year.
Yeah.
And so the World Series was gonna be in Kansas City, so they the World Series, so we couldn't even make it to the World Series that year. But we won the regional though.
So y'all won the regional. We're supposed to play in the World Series, but they canceled it. So you guys missed out on that opportunity to actually bring a World Series back to Pine Bluff. That's dope. I didn't know that. I definitely didn't know that as a 16-year-old. Now your 17 and 18-year-old year, how did you do those years?
Well, I made All-Star both years, and I think Kimball was the coach, and we really didn't do too well. We might end up, I think we probably end up going to the championship or something, and when you up in that range, you got 17, 18-year-olds together. Then it's competition get tougher then. It's very tough then.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what made it. That's what
I always talk about. This team, you guys team through that year, your All-Star teams. You gotta tell everybody some of the players that was on your team, from Lonnie Satchel to Neil, Detron Parks. Go through the list, man. You have to go through the list.
Which one?
Say anyone. Just start naming players. I just need the listeners to know how loaded those baseball teams were in Pine Bluff, Senior Beirut, your 3 years there.
Stephen Neal, and that was a slugger. Yeah, and then let me see who else was on that squad. Dante Martin was on that squad.
But Dante, yep.
Travis Smith was on that squad.
Mm-hmm.
Detron, one of the quickest one around. He started around. He got 17, 18. He started switching. That really made him dangerous. Then.
Yes. Detron. And quick story about Detron, real quick before you go on with the rest of the names. Detron, for my listeners, was my second cousin. He was a all around athlete. Football, kick and punt return on those state championships teams that Clifton is talking about now. Return punts and kicks, was great at that. Incredible baseball player. Played second base and shortstop. Was lightning fast. Remind me of Kyler Murray from the Oklahoma Sooners. No lie. Remind me of Kyler Murray. Detron would have had a shot at the major leagues, and he definitely would have played AAA ball had he not tore his hamstring his senior year. But he was killing it at UAPB. And so that's a little background of Detron. Steve Neal, the name you mentioned earlier. Steve Neal, I think, played for the Arizona Diamondbacks farm team for 9 plus years. So he was drafted into the pros. Yeah, go ahead. I think you guys had Lonnie Satchel too, right?
No, Lonnie Satchel came out. He came after me.
Okay.
Yeah, Lonnie Satchel was like 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
We had Sadiki Satchel. His brother played with us.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Sadiki came in. Sadiki came with us.
Yeah.
Let me see who else was on that squad. Chris Story came. He came from Whitehall. It was a variety from different schools on that All-Star team.
Yes.
On that All-Star team that we had.
Did Paris Lowry play with y'all too?
I played one.
Paris?
No.
Paris is after you.
No, I think Paris ended up playing with with the AAA teams, the AAAs and AA team like Simmons, and I think Paris played with them.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, Paris came from I think Paris played with them.
With Legion at the Legion field.
Yeah, Legion. Yeah, okay. Legion. Most of Washington Chapel and Whitehall players played. You had a few Pine Bluff played Legion, but mainly most of everybody came over to Senior Beirut. That's when Senior Beirut was intact. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on around there now.
Man, then I used to go to those games at Taylor Field. One time, my best memory there was Marcus Neal hitting a home run over the right field wall. And if you remember, over there right off East Harding, it was like a liquor store right across the street on Taylor Field.
Yeah.
And Kelly Scarver and myself were racing to get the ball. and we were looking behind a wall at Taylor Field. We could not find the ball. And his little brother, Boo Scarver, ran across the street and said, "Here's the ball right here." The ball had traveled all the way across the street after Steve Neal hit it. Now, of course, it hit the pavement and bounced, but that's how much, velocity was behind the ball to make it travel that far. That's how hard the guy hit. So imagine being a second baseman, a shortstop, this left-hander coming up, and he hitting with a aluminum bat and could shoot it towards you. You're pretty much in the outfield. You're pretty much in the outfield.
With that much power, that man has so much power, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That whole lineup, you didn't know who to pitch around. You didn't know what to do with that whole lineup that we had 1 through 9.
Who was your catcher then? Was it Larry Butler or was it somebody else?
No, it was Larry Butler. Butler was my catcher. It's either be Larry Butler or my cousin Chris. Chris was catching me too.
Okay, Chris Blunt. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris is pretty good. Yeah, that's good. I just wanted people to know that because I talk about those teams all the time. I definitely talk about them. So, Cliff, man, I appreciate you giving me an hour of your time, dude. Like this was incredible. For me to sit down and talk to you, you don't know how special it is for me because I watched you as a youngster growing up, and I knew your brother Omar. We played with the Rams together. We played basketball together. We played on opposite teams with baseball. He used to strike me out. I would get some hits on him. So, so I knew Omar. Omar would talk about you all the time. And so it's just good to sit down and talk with you, man, and tell people your story and let them know what happened. You was an Arkansas legend. You played quarterback, and why didn't you play at that next level when it's not like you didn't have the skills. Everybody know you had the skills to play at the next level. We just always wonder why didn't the team pursue you hard enough? And the honesty to my listeners is teams did pursue him. And, Pine Bluff High didn't prep him. And I'm not blaming Pine Bluff High, but they could have did a better job of prepping their athletes for the next level. Clifton kind of got burnt out with it, and that's understandable because you're on that high. You're on this high level for 3 years, and you're getting interviewed by newspapers and people calling every day. So it's understandable to get burnt out with it. And even when you went to UAPB, as you said earlier, you was walking the campus and you were willing to play if Hartman had recruited you and gave you a scholarship, and UAPB didn't even try to look at you, which is ridiculous in itself. So those are some of the things we covered in here. Clifton, man, I hope people listen to this and appreciate what you brought to Pine Bluff during those 3 years, and appreciate what your not just you but your team brought to Pine Bluff, and what that Pine Bluff High Zebra team was during that time frame. During that period of like a 5 year, even after you left, they won the state championship. So that what you built carried on for the next 2 or 3 years,
Exactly. You're right.
Exactly. So with that said, man, appreciate it. You got anything else to say to the listeners? You want anything? You got any social media you want to put out there?
No, man. Just thank you, man, for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate what you're doing. Proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Keep on doing what you're doing, man. Keep on doing.
All right, man. Absolutely. My dad, man, my father love you, dude. He's a big Clifton Blunt fan.
Tell him I said hello, man.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hello.
And your dad and my dad, man, they go way back. They played ball
together.
Oh,
yeah, way back.
Yeah, so he's going to be happy to listen to this. He probably tell me to send it to him before I even post it. So thanks, man. We're going to end this interview right here. I want to thank my listeners for taking our time to hear Arkansas Great tell us in detail about his career as one of the best high school quarterbacks to play. Thank you for listening to the PVR Sports Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch new episodes and PVR clips. Like our Facebook page and share with your friends if you enjoyed this podcast. As we say in the South, catch you later.